hindi siya normal na naman. Okay, so what do you call this flimsy lining there covering your brain? Is the pia, no? And what do you call this thing over here? That one. That's the arachnoid granulations. Okay? So you can see a very deep fissure here in the middle. That's the longitudinal medial fissure of the brain. Okay, so I would always ask whether which is the right and which is the left. So you always have to orient yourself. No, this is the back and this is the front. If this is the back, so this is the right and this is the left. So let's talk about this is the frontal lobe. Okay, so when you identify the frontal lobe, you have to look at the demarcation of the frontal lobe from your parietal and from your temporal lobe. So what separates the frontal to your parietal lobe?
Central.
So how did you identify that? So the Rolando sits on top of cilia. So you look for Rolando. Nasaan si Rolando? Most likely this is it. No? This is your lateral sulcus. And this is your central sulcus of Rolando. Okay? So once you have identified the central sulcus of Rolando, you always trace the lateral sulcus. Then usually the lambic sulcus is not at the end, but usually at the middle. So it sits really on top of cilia. So this is the central sulcus. Then you can see the precentral gyrus and the postcentral gyrus. I usually ask you to identify those two. Then of course now you can see now the demarcation. So all this anterior portion is the frontal lobe. Then you will be able to identify the superior frontal, middle frontal, and the inferior temporal. Now you'll be able to see the different pars over there. So you can see the pars, operculum, then the triangular, and the orbitalis. Okay? Now, in the parietal area naman, so this is the central sulcus of Rolando. You can see the postcentral gyrus there. You can see the inferior parietal lobule. Then you'll be able to see the post-inferior parietal lobule. Now, for you to be able to identify the supramarginal and the angular gyrus, you have to trace the lateral sulcus, and then posterior to the supramarginal gyrus is your angular gyrus. So, mas dali lang yan. End ng lateral sulcus, supramarginal gyrus, then angular gyrus. Now, we have the temporal lobe. So you have the superior temporal gyrus there, the middle temporal gyrus, and the inferior. Of course, you have to identify also the sulcus that divides one from each other. Okay? So that's all. Then before we go to the occipital, if you open this up, you'll be able to see the insula. Okay, that one. So you can see the long gyri there and the short gyri over there. Touch the brain, we will be able to touch a notch there. You can feel a notch. So where the notch is, that's the imaginary parieto-occipital sulcus. So maramdaman mo yan. That is where your notch. Then here is your occipital lobe, right? So the base of the brain. So what gyrus is this? Gyrus rectus. The other term for that is the straight gyrus. Okay? Then this one is we can see this, ang ganda ng olfactory, no? You can see the olfactory bulb there. Dito naputol ang kanyang olfactory bulb. And you can see the olfactory nerve, no? That's the nerve. And then lateral to your straight gyrus is your orbital. Then you have a lot of orbital sulcus over there. Okay. Then let's identify the lobes first before we go into the brainstem. Okay. So you can see there this is the temporal pole. Okay, and this is the temporal pole. So this is the inferior sulcus. So this is the inferior temporal gyrus. So if this is the inferior temporal gyrus, so you'll be able to identify your uncus over there. So, lateral to your uncus is the Parahippocampal Gyrus. Very good. Now, so since you have identified this one, the uncus, the Parahippocampal Gyrus, no? If you trace this, if you have the inferior sulcus to the inferior temporal gyrus over there, so this one, this is being subserved now by your lateral occipitotemporal gyrus and your medial occipitotemporal gyrus, no? And the other term for that is the fusiform gyrus. So we have the lateral and the medial fusiform gyrus. So what separates the two? Sulcus. And then you have supposed to have a collateral sulcus here, but I could not find the collateral sulcus. That separates the two. Dapat may ganda yan eh. Separating yan the Parahippocampal Gyrus. Wala. Hard to read. Baka ito. I am not sure. Never mind. So, we have identified the lobes. Now we should identify the medial structures. Now, yeah, this will also come out in your exam. So, let's identify the most obvious ones. No? The most obvious ones are your, this is your, that's the optic chiasm, and this one, optic nerve, right? So, and this one, if you can identify this, kung saan, ito, pag nandito ang needle, it is the internal carotid artery. Okay? Okay? Pag nandito to, pag nandito ang needle, that's your medial cerebral artery. Right? Ganun din. This is your internal, this is your middle. And you can see there your anterior cerebral artery. Okay? That's your anterior. And you will be able to see your anterior communicating artery over there. Right? Okay. Alright. Now, so, this is your optic chiasm. What is this? That's the infundibulum. And this one is the mammillary bodies. Then, if you look at this one, you can see the anterior perforated substance over there. That's the anterior perforated substance. Then, so, very nice. Then you have your basilar artery. Ang ganda nito. Oh, very bad basilar artery. Look at that one. Dami niyang thrombosis. Anyway. Okay, so, very nice vascular system. So, you see the basilar artery there, right? And then the vertebral artery, right? Then you have a small branch there. We can see it's a branch coming from the proximal portion of your basilar. So what is that? That's the ica. Yeah, that's the ica. And then here, since this is the basilar, then you can see there, this is the left PCA, and this is the SCA over there, right? This is the PCA, the SCA. Then on the right, the basilar, the PCA, posterior cerebral artery, which were in, diba, at the distal portion of the basilar bifurcates into two. That's the PCA and the SCA, superior cerebellar artery. Okay? Now, in between these two, you can see this nerve. What is this nerve? What is this nerve? This nerve, that's your oculomotor nerve. That one, that's your oculomotor nerve, no? This is the if you trace again, that's the part of your PCA. This is the middle cerebral artery over here. Okay, that's your middle cerebral. Because if you see, this one is a branch of your PCA. Okay? Now, this is the pons, right?
Yes.
So, what is this? This one. Correct. That's trigeminal nerve. Very good. That's trigeminal nerve. So, ito, if this is the pons, medulla na to, right? Okay. So, kung medulla na yan, nandito yung trigeminal nerve mo. So, ano to? Ito, ano to? That's your facial nerve.
Sensory.
Oo, facial nerve. Meron pa yun eh. Yan yung kakapal. O yan. Yan. Part of your facial. This is your facial nerve. This is your vestibulocochlear nerve. Okay. So if you cut the brain, no, actually, this is what you'll be able to see. No?
Sorry.
There you go. So, dito, ang makikita nyo, you will be able to see the Corpus Callosum. This one. This one. Caudate. This one. No? That's your part of your thalamus. This one is the cranium of your Corpus Callosum. And your insula. So, you'll be able to see the caudate, okay, the septum, pellucidum, the genu, yeah, that's the head. And then you'll be able to see the anterior limb of your internal capsule. Okay, then this is the posterior limb. Okay, yung puti. That's the posterior limb of your internal capsule. And this is your thalamus. You'll be able to see your basal ganglia. So this is the putamen. And this is the globus pallidus. And this is the genu of your internal capsule, no? Then, outer to your external, lateral to your, this one, the white thing. No, lateral to the putamen is your external capsule. And you can see this black portion there, that's your claustrum, no? And then, external to your claustrum is the extreme capsule. Then the insula. Okay? So this is the splenium of your corpus callosum, right? And this is your cingulate gyrus. And this is your cingulate sulcus. And this is your, that's your lingula. Lingula. Okay. Alright. And what is this? The choroid plexus. And what is this? That's the third ventricle. Ito, posterior horn of your lateral ventricle. Okay. Look at that. This is the corpus callosum. You can see, yes, no? That connects that two brain together. And you can see your horn. Napakalaki ng kanyang ventricle, no? Compared to the one on the other side. Kasi meron siyang hydrocephalus. Okay. Now, you can see this one. This is the coronal section of your brain. Looks so distorted. But you can see here, what you can see here, no? You'll be able to see here the hippocampus. See? You can see the almond's horn there. There's the hippocampus. Then you can see the corpus callosum, the septum. Then you can see the choroid plexus over there, no? Then you can see the medulla. Then you can see the, this is the This is the cerebellum. You can see the medial cerebral peduncle there. Okay? Medial cerebral peduncle. Okay? Now here, able to see here, you can see the caudate there, or the caudate. That's the head of your caudate. And you'll be able to see your the lentiform nucleus, the putamen, the globus, the internal capsule. Here, what is this? No? Napakataas na ang thalamus niya. I don't think that's the thalamus. That's part of the body of your caudate. So, ito yung the hippocampus. Okay. What else? So you can see your corpus callosum, the genu, the body, and the splenium. Okay, so you have the callosal sulcus, cingulate gyrus, cingulate sulcus. So what is this? The paracentral lobule, and then you have your precuneus here. Then you have the, and then you have the. Now this is the parahippocampal sulcus. And this is the Gyrus, because this is the conus and the lingula. Then here you can see this is the thalamus, and this is the mammillary body. And then this one, infundibulum, and you can see here, dapat nandito yung pituitary gland. Okay? And this is the what? Septum pellucidum. This is where your thalamus is located, but this structure there is the massa intermedia. Then you can see what is this? The third ventricle. Yan ang massa intermedia. There, yeah, that one. Yeah. Correct. Very good. Very good. Ito, that's your pineal body over. Ano makikita ninyo? What's this? What's this? That's the tonsils. And then this one? Oculonodular. This one? The middle lobe. The medial lobe. No? And this is the... Ganito yan eh. Ganyan siya. So, ganito yung anatomy niya normally. So, kung ganito yung anatomy mo, ito yung anterior lobe. This is your middle. Nandito yung posterior lobe mo sa gitna. Okay? Don't be confused. Kasi ganito ang anatomy natin naka-attach. Look at this one. So, ganito siya. Right? You got it? Yeah. So, this is your anterior, the medial, and then nandito yung inferior lobe. Then nandito yung oculonodular. Okay? So, if you cut this sagittally, so you can see the several arbor vitae, no? And what you can see here is the vermis portion. So, ito. Correct. Very good. So, if you cut this coronally, you're able to see you can see the dentate nucleus there, the vermis, no? This is part of the vermis, particularly the pyramid. You can see the nodule there, no? That's the vermis. You can see the dentate nucleus, class? Correct. So, see? So this is the vermis. See, napakaganda, no? Arbor vitae. Looks like corals, diba? And there's specific names. That's the vermis. So let's try to look for can you find me the medial cerebral peduncle? You can see the medial cerebellar peduncle. No, that attaches the pons to the medulla. Yan. Okay? And this is still part of your vermis. Okay? Do we have specimen for brainstem?
Crus.
Ito, what can you say about this? What part of the brainstem does the midbrain? Because
Substantia.
Cerebral aqueduct.
may cerebral aqueduct. And then you have the colliculi. We don't know na kung ano siya, superior or inferior. So if this is the pons, then therefore this could be the inferior colliculus. So you can see the substantia nigra there. Ano pa? Nasaan na? So this is part of the medulla. So meron tayong pons, meron tayong midbrain. You have the pyramid, and you can see the olivary nucleus. So here sa likod, you have the posterior median sulcus. And you have tubercles. The medial tubercles are the gracilis, then the cuniatus. Then here at the top is where your opening of your central canal, diba? So this should be the obex, where the obex is. And you can appreciate somewhat like a triangle. So that's the vagal trigon. So ito yung inferior cerebellar peduncle. And this is the brainstem. If you look at this, this is the anterior fissure, and you have the pyramids there, then you have the olives over there. Spinal cord. Do you have a ruler? Sukat ka nga.
Dok, pag mas maliit po ba yung tao? Mas may exist pa yun?
Hindi.
So
Pareha lang yan. 45 cm, 45 cm.
Standard.
Gusto mo sukatin natin yan sa likod mo. Okay, so you can see the spinal cord, no? Anong pansinin nyo? Malaki wide siya dito sa taas. Cervical cord. Tapos nandito yung cornus mo. See? Then if you look at the tip, naputol ang filamentum. Phylum terminale, kawawa naman. Oo, pero ito, this is supposed to be the phylum terminale. Dito nag-e-end ang atong conus medullary. And then this one, cauda and cauda. Okay, this is our one and only spinal cord.